"You're only valuable when you're paying our bills," Patricia said. "And no matter what rank they pin on you today, you will never truly belong in this family." Her voice cut through the narrow hallway outside the ceremony room, sharp enough to rise above the muted brass music coming through the double doors. The wool collar of my dress uniform pressed against my neck. Fresh floor wax stung my nose, mixed with Patricia's heavy gardenia perfume and the burnt coffee drifting from the reception room. Somewhere behind us, a microphone squealed, followed by the hollow tap of someone testing the podium. Patricia held out her phone. 12,000, she said. "Tyler needs it by Monday." "No," I said. The words sat between us. My mother-in-law's manicured fingers tightened around the phone. "Excuse me? I'm not paying Tyler's business loan." Daniel stood a few feet away, adjusting the cuffs of his suit as though the stitching required his full attention. "This isn't the time," my husband said. "People are already taking their seats." Patricia's mouth pulled tight. "The timing became inconvenient when she decided to embarrass this family," Patricia said to Daniel, though her eyes stayed on me. "After everything we've done for her." I had heard that sentence for years. Usually, it arrived before an overdue mortgage payment, a medical copay, a car repair, or one of Tyler's emergencies that somehow became mine before the conversation ended. "You have a retirement account," Patricia said. "You have allowances. You have all those military benefits. Tyler is family." "So is Maya," I said. "And the last 3 requests Daniel sent me were supposed to be for her." Daniel finally looked up. "Aisha," Daniel said, "we can discuss the accounting later." "There shouldn't be anything to discuss." Patricia gave a dry laugh. "Listen to her," my mother-in-law said. "One promotion and suddenly she wants receipts for every nickel. I've always asked for receipts. And we've always taken care of that child while you ran around the world chasing rank." The doors opened behind her. A burst of conversation rolled into the hallway, then softened again as a sergeant pulled them shut. The cream-colored place card in her hand brushed against my sleeve. Embossed across the top were the words, "Seat of Honor." Beneath them, in black calligraphy, was Patricia Whitmore. "We raised your daughter," Patricia said. "We kept your home together. We smiled for photographs when you remembered to come back. You should be grateful anybody in this family still makes room for you." Daniel glanced toward the doors. "Mom," he said, "lower your voice." Patricia did not. "Why?" she asked. "Everyone knows the truth. After everything we've done, she is still just our black ATM." The hallway went quiet. Patricia had said ugly things before, usually in her kitchen, usually with a smile, always followed by Daniel telling me I had misunderstood her sense of humor. He said, "Can we please not ruin today?" Something in me settled. For weeks, Daniel and Patricia had insisted that the seat of honor belonged to my mother-in-law. Patricia had said it would show respect to the Whitmore family for all they had sacrificed during my career. My official biography thanked Rochelle Monroe, the woman who had raised me after my mother died, the aunt who had packed my first duffel bag, watched Maya during long assignments, sat through school conferences, and never once handed me a total afterward. I had let Daniel convince me that putting Patricia in that seat would keep the peace. "What are you doing?" she asked. "Correcting the seating chart." "Aisha," Daniel said, "don't." I took the card from Patricia's hand. Inside the small preparation room, a black marker rested beside the printed programs. I drew one clean line through Patricia Whitmore. "The speech has always been about Aunt Rochelle. My mother has already told everyone she's sitting there. That was her mistake. That is no longer the problem I'm solving." Daniel stared at me as though I had spoken in a language he did not recognize. "You think a uniform changes what you are?" Patricia asked. "No," I said. "It helped me remember." I walked out before either of them could answer. Maya arrived a few minutes later beside Patricia, wearing a dark blue dress I had not helped her choose. "Hey, sweetheart," I said. Maya gave me a quick hug. Her shoulders stayed stiff beneath my hands. "Thanks," Maya said. Her gaze moved past me toward Daniel. "Did you get my letter last week?" "What letter?" Maya asked. "The one I sent from the course at Fort Sam. It had the photograph from your grandfather's old unit." Maya's brow tightened. "I didn't think you sent letters anymore." The words landed softly. "She's nervous," Daniel said. "Can we not turn this into an interrogation right before the ceremony?" I asked her one question. Maya folded her arms. "Dad said you were busy." Daniel was not her father. Her father had died when she was 6. But after years in our home, Daniel had encouraged the word, until it became easier for Maya than explaining our family to other people. "What exactly did you tell her?" Daniel's smile disappeared. "Aisha, your commander is waiting." A staff sergeant appeared at the end of the hallway and called my name. Every officer standing here carries the work of people whose names never appear on an evaluation report, Colonel Reeves said. Lieutenant Colonel Monroe asked that we recognize one of those people today. Rochelle sat in the front row beneath the seat of honor card. Miss Rochelle Monroe raised Aisha after the loss of her mother. She gave stability to a young woman determined to serve, and during long training assignments and deployments, she helped care for Aisha's daughter, Maya. She offered support without asking to own the achievement that followed. A low murmur passed through the room. Patricia sat 3 seats back, rigid beneath a pale pink suit. Her fingers crushed the edge of the program. Rochelle hugged me carefully, mindful of the new insignia. "You did good, baby," she said. "You should have been in that seat from the beginning." Rochelle's eyes moved toward Maya. "That seat of honor belongs to our family," she shouted. Conversation stopped in uneven waves. "Rochelle is my family. She is your aunt," Patricia said. "We are the ones who raised your child while you chased rank." Rochelle rose from her chair. "Mrs. Whitmore," he said, "you may lower your voice, or you may leave the reception." Patricia ignored him. "Everything she earns belongs to this family," Patricia said, pointing at me. "We made it possible." Maya stood near the dessert table, frozen with a napkin in her hand. "No, she humiliated me in front of everyone." "No," I said. "I changed a name on a chair." Colonel Reeves signaled quietly to the senior enlisted advisor near the door. "This is not over," she told me. Then Daniel guided her into the hallway, whispering hard against her ear. "Things I tried to send you." Inside were returned letters with my name printed across the front, unopened, grocery receipts, school supply receipts, pharmacy receipts, a calendar covered in Rochelle's handwriting, with Maya's name marked across weeks and weekends. "Stop contacting Aisha directly. She has made it clear she wants the Whitmores handling family matters. You are creating tension in our marriage." "I know," Rochelle said. Maya had moved closer. She stared at the returned envelopes. "You sent those to Mom?" she asked. Rochelle nodded. "Everyone." Maya looked at me. "I was told you didn't want updates unless something was wrong." I opened the final document, my family care plan. Rochelle's name was printed exactly where it had always been, under long-term caregiver. "That one bothered me," she said. "It was a school receipt for $48, not $4,800. 3 months earlier, Daniel had sent me a statement marked private school tuition. I had transferred $4,800 the same afternoon." "Maya has never attended private school," Rochelle said. The reception room seemed to narrow around the envelope. $4,800 to the account Daniel used for Maya's expenses. 2 days later, $4,200 had left that account. The receiving name appeared in clean black letters, Patricia Whitmore. For the first time that day, Daniel was nowhere in sight. Daniel had disappeared by the time I looked up from the account screen. His mother's name still sat beneath the transfer, clean and ordinary, as if $4,200 had simply wandered into Patricia Whitmore's mortgage account by accident. Rochelle touched my wrist. "Not here," she said. "Where is Daniel?" I asked. Rochelle glanced toward the hallway. "He left with Patricia." "Did he say where?" "Grandma said she couldn't breathe," Maya said. "Dad took her home." The word dad came out automatically. That hurt in a place I had no time to touch. "Lieutenant Colonel Monroe," he said. "The reception staff can clear a private office if you need one." "Thank you, sir," I said. "I'm taking my daughter and my aunt somewhere quiet." His eyes went to the envelope in Maya's hands, then back to me. "Legal assistance opens at 0800, Colonel Reeves said. "I can have the contact information sent to you. I'd appreciate that." "Rochelle," I said, "how long has Maya been staying with you after school?" My aunt's gaze moved to Maya first. "Most weekdays for the last 2 years, Rochelle said. "More during field exercises. Some weekends." "Daniel told me Patricia handled most of that. He told me you wanted the Whitmores listed as primary family contacts." "I never said that. Grandma picked me up sometimes," she said. "But Aunt Rochelle usually did." "How often is sometimes?" Maya shrugged. "Maybe once a week. Sometimes less." I scrolled through the transfers. "How much did Daniel pay you?" I asked Rochelle. My aunt's mouth tightened. "For watching Maya." "He didn't." Rochelle shook her head. "He bought groceries twice, left cash on the counter one Christmas. I gave it back." I looked at the transaction list again. "Mom, did you think Aunt Rochelle was getting paid?" "Yes." Rochelle leaned forward. "Aisha, don't do this in front of her. Maya is already in it." My daughter's fingers tightened around the envelopes. "I didn't ask them to charge you," Maya said. "I know you didn't. You always sent money when Dad said I needed something. He told me you did. He told me you wanted receipts because you didn't trust us. I set my phone down. What else did he tell you? Maya stared at the carpet. That calling made it harder for you to focus. My throat went dry. He said you wanted me to stop getting upset every time you left because it made you feel guilty. Grandma said I needed to be mature. I remembered calls when Maya had sounded flat and polite. Did you want to talk to me more? I asked. Her shoulders rose, then dropped. With Maya and Rochelle. You took Maya without telling me. She is my daughter. I know that, Aisha. Do not start twisting this. I found the tuition transfer. Silence. What tuition transfer? The $4,800 you requested 3 months ago. There were a lot of expenses that month. You labeled it private school tuition. I would need to look at the spreadsheet. Maya has never attended private school. A turn signal clicked on his end of the call. Maya had academic support, Daniel said. Programs, transportation. You were gone, so things had to be handled. Then send me the original invoice. I don't have access to everything from the car. You have until tomorrow morning. Aisha, this is exactly what my mother was talking about. You get one promotion and suddenly everybody has to prove themselves to you. This is not about my promotion. It is if you are using it to humiliate my family. Why did $4,200 go to Patricia 2 days after I paid for tuition that did not exist? Daniel said nothing. Tell her the house was where Maya stayed, Patricia said. Daniel must have taken me off speaker because the sound cut out. My mother provided housing, food, transportation, stability. You cannot reduce everything to one line on a statement. I can when the line says tuition. You were not here. I will be reviewing every transfer, I said. Daniel exhaled hard. And what exactly are you planning to do? Find out what I paid for. You are blowing up your marriage over bookkeeping. No. I am checking bookkeeping because my marriage already has a hole in it. Maya looked at me. Do not discuss this with her. She is sitting beside me. You pulled a child into an adult financial dispute. You used her name on the invoices. That stopped him. Let me get home. We will sit down tomorrow and go through everything together. Send the original records tonight. You are not thinking clearly. Good night, Daniel. Aisha, do not hang up. I wrote down the dates Maya stayed with me, she said. Not because I expected this. I keep track for church commitments and doctor appointments. The pages were filled in blue ink. Rochelle's handwriting covered dates for which Daniel had billed me for Patricia's full-time care. 32,000 marked tuition and school programs. Rochelle closed her eyes. 18,000 marked therapy. She did go to therapy, my aunt said. I know, insurance paid most of it. How much did Daniel say it cost? Sometimes $800 a session. 14,000 for after-school care and caregiver reimbursement. What are you going to do? Tomorrow I verify the school records. And after that? He gets documents now, not trust. Morning came without sleep. Mrs. Monroe, Maya has been enrolled here continuously since middle school, she said. There were no private tuition payments? No, ma'am. This is a public school. What about an academic support program costing several $1,000s per term? We have no program with that fee. Who is listed for pickup? How often did Patricia sign Maya out? Keys clicked in the background. Not often, the registrar said. Miss Rochelle Monroe appears most frequently. Maya stared at the table. Was there ever a request to route all school communication through Daniel Whitmore? I asked. Yes, ma'am. He submitted a power of attorney. Is it current? Please place a note on the record that no changes are to be made without direct verification from me. I can do that. I'll go? I said. Maya shook her head. 2 invoices listed therapy sessions on days when school attendance records showed Maya present for the full day. By noon, I had spoken with legal assistants and received referrals for a civilian family attorney and a forensic accountant. No promises, no instant answers, just the next proper steps. What did you do? She demanded. Her voice cracked through the speaker, loud enough that Rochelle heard every word. I secured my accounts, I said. My mortgage payment is due. Maya had come back into the room. She stopped near the door. Why was your mortgage being paid from money Daniel requested for Maya's school? Patricia made a sound of disgust. That house was for your child. Maya did not live there. 4 nights last year, Rochelle said from across the room. Patricia heard her. You stay out of this, my mother-in-law snapped. You have caused enough trouble. Rochelle's face did not change. This conversation is over, I said. No, it is not, Patricia replied. You cannot cut us off without warning. You called me an ATM yesterday. That was said in anger. You were more honest than you intended. Aisha, if that mortgage bounces, I could lose my home. The words came fast now. No mention of Maya, no question about where she was. No concern about the letters or the school records. How long have I been paying it? I asked. Patricia went quiet. The answer arrived from my bank records before she gave one. 22 months. For nearly 2 years, the money Daniel had labeled care for my daughter had been keeping Patricia Whitmore's house out of foreclosure. And until that morning, I had thanked them for helping me. For nearly 2 years, the money Daniel had labeled care for my daughter had been keeping Patricia Whitmore's house out of foreclosure. And until that morning, I had thanked them for helping me. The room stayed silent after I ended the call. Maya stood near the door with her arms folded across the hotel blanket. Rochelle sat beside the small table, one hand resting on the brown envelope, the other curled around a paper cup of coffee that had gone cold. Maya, I said, I need to ask you some things, but you can tell me to stop. Her chin lifted slightly. About Grandma? About the calls, the letters, anything you remember. Maya looked toward Rochelle. When you were overseas, Maya said, Grandma usually had my phone before you called. Why? She said I got too worked up. Did you? What did Daniel tell you afterward? I asked. That you had to go. Did he say I chose to go? Maya's eyes moved to the carpet. Baby, you do not have to protect anybody in this room. I'm not, Maya said. The answer came quickly enough to prove the opposite. Did Patricia sit in on those calls? Usually. She would say she was just making sure I stayed calm. What did calm mean? Not crying, not asking when you were coming home, not saying I wanted to live with Aunt Rochelle. Rochelle's fingers tightened around the paper cup. Why did you want to live with Rochelle? I asked. Maya's face closed. Dad and Grandma were always talking about money. What kind of money? Grandma would say the mortgage was late. Dad would say your check had not cleared yet. Tyler came over a lot because his shop was having trouble. They would stop talking when I walked in. Did they ever say the money was for you? Dad did. He said you would send it faster if it was for me. Rochelle looked away. That you felt bad for leaving. The words were quiet, careful. That if I sounded upset, you would make sure we had what we needed. What did they tell you to say? Nothing exact. Grandma would ask if I wanted to tell you about the school program, or therapy, or how hard everything had been. Did you know the amount they were asking for? No. Did you know there was no private school? Maya looked at me then, and something sharpened in her expression. I knew I was not in one. That sentence stayed with me. The subject line read Family Expenses Clarification. The same $86,000. No invoices from a school, clinic, or caregiver. All family expenditures were approved verbally by Aisha Monroe during deployment periods. It means Daniel is trying to say I agreed to everything. Did you? I agreed to pay for you. The distinction sounded thin in the room. Aisha, I am trying to cooperate. Please stop turning routine family support into accusations. You were not present for most day-to-day decisions, and everyone did their best. The word covered Patricia's mortgage, Tyler's business, Daniel's spreadsheets, and every letter Rochelle had mailed into a silence he had built. You're going to keep every word now, she said. Yes. Are you going to get him arrested? The question came out small. I do not know what will happen. You said you were sending things to a lawyer. I am. Grandma said you would do this. What did she say? That once you made colonel, you would think you were better than everybody. Lieutenant-colonel. I am not using my rank against Daniel or Patricia. You changed all the accounts. I removed access to my money. You left Dad with nothing. He has income. He has access to the joint account for documented household bills. I did not empty it. That is not what he said. What did he say? Would you like to see the balance? Maya hesitated. Enough for the mortgage, utilities, groceries, and insurance. He said the house payment would bounce. Patricia's house payment might. That afternoon, Rochelle took Maya to get clothes while I met the attorney in a small office outside the base. Dana listened without interrupting while I explained the promotion ceremony, Patricia's demand, the tuition transfer, the school records, the insurance statements, and the emails Rochelle never managed to get through. Here is what we know, Dana said. You voluntarily transferred funds. That does not mean every use of those funds was authorized. What matters most? If Daniel asked for money for private school tuition and no private school existed, that is different from a general contribution to household expenses. What about therapy? We need the real bills, insurance records, and whatever he sent you. I have some of the PDFs. Do not alter them. Do not rename the originals. Save copies, but preserve the source files. I already downloaded them. We have a shared family laptop. Do not go searching through accounts you are not authorized to access. I will not. If files are stored on the shared device and you have lawful access, we can discuss preservation. But I want a digital forensics professional handling extraction if this moves forward. The precision in her voice helped. You are her legal parent. Daniel is not. His expired power of attorney does not create custody rights. He drafted a statement saying I am frequently absent and unable to provide stability. Has it been filed anywhere? He can try to tell a story. We answer with the actual care plan, school records, your contact history, and Rochelle's role. What if Maya says she wants to stay with him? Dana paused. At 15, her wishes may be considered depending on the forum and circumstances, but Daniel is still a step-parent without automatic custodial rights. More important, do not pressure her. I won't. And do not promise her that Daniel will face no consequences. You cannot make that promise. My fingers pressed into the edge of the chair. Dana asked for a list of all accounts, the dates of my deployments, copies of the family care plan, school records, insurance statements, and every message related to money. Who controlled the family email? Daniel managed most of it. Do that with care, Dana said. If you still have authorized access, document the account settings before anything changes. By the time I left her office, the sky had darkened, but the parking lot lights were already on. My phone showed 6 missed calls from Daniel, 3 from Patricia, and 1 voicemail from an unknown number. A woman identified herself as the office manager at Maya's therapy clinic. Mrs. Monroe, we received your request for billing records. Before we release them, we need to update your mailing address. Our system currently routes all statements and portal notifications to Mr. Whitmore. I replayed it. Did Daniel ever help you log into the clinic portal? I asked Maya. She looked up from her carton. The clinic has been sending every statement to Daniel. Maya frowned. The family email loaded automatically. Messages from Rochelle went to a folder called Archived Family. I clicked Archived Family. 73 messages. Aisha. Maya stayed with me again this week. Daniel says you approved Patricia as primary caregiver, but your care plan still lists me. Please call when you can. I paid for Maya's debate registration because Daniel said the card was not working. Please let me know if I should submit the receipt. 73. Her face tightened. Yes, I said. Maya stepped back. Dad told me you did not answer Aunt Rochelle. I never saw these. Did he read the messages you sent me too? I searched. A rule labeled Maya Incoming moved my emails to a hidden folder before forwarding them to Daniel. The third said Daniel had provided continuous care, while I remained unable to maintain a consistent parental presence. Near the end, 1 sentence had been highlighted. Grandma already signed it. Yes. My daughter's eyes settled on Patricia's name. For the first time since the ceremony, Maya did not defend either of them. She stood beside the desk with one hand wrapped around the back of the chair, reading Patricia's typed name as though the letters might rearrange themselves if she waited long enough. Rochelle remained near the bed. Nobody touched the document. What does current household arrangement mean? It means Daniel wanted to describe the way things were while I was away, I said. So he could keep them that way? I don't know what he planned to do with it. You keep saying that. That depends on what he tried to file and where. He is not your legal father. But I call him Dad. That does not give him automatic custody rights. Maya looked back at the screen. I need space, Maya said. Rochelle nodded. All right, baby. I found a draft statement, I said. What kind of statement? Dana asked. It describes me as repeatedly absent and unable to provide a stable parental presence. Daniel is listed as the continuous caregiver. Patricia's name appears on the witness line. Has it been filed? I found no court heading, case number, or attorney information. Do not assume that means it was never sent anywhere. I preserved the original location, took photographs, and copied the folder. Good. Do not alter the file. I haven't. Send me a copy and the metadata screenshots. I will check whether any family action has been filed under your name or Maya's. What can he actually do? Daniel is a step-parent. He does not gain custody rights simply because you were deployed or because he helped care for Maya. What about the statement? Anyone can type a statement. That does not make it evidence. He used my absences. Military service cannot be treated as automatic abandonment. The facts matter. Your care plan matters. Your contact history matters. Maya's legal parentage matters. I pressed my palm against the cool bathroom counter. Could he use it to keep her from me? Not by himself. But I need you to listen carefully, Aisha. I'm listening. Do not confront him about the file yet. Why? Because we do not know whether he has other drafts, whether Patricia has copies, or whether they planned to attach school or medical records. Let him believe you are still focused on the money. The instructions scraped against every instinct I had. He put my daughter into a document. Yes, Dana said. And if you warn him before we know what exists, he may delete the rest. Water dripped from the faucet. Tell her the truth, you know. Daniel has no automatic custody rights. The paper has not been confirmed as filed. You are checking. Do not promise more than that. She thinks I let this happen. Dana was quiet for a moment. You trusted your husband to carry out a limited role while you served. That is not the same as consenting to false records. It does not feel different to her. Then let her be angry without making her comfort you. The sentence landed cleanly. I can do that, I said. Good. I also want the current family care plan, the expired power of attorney, school pickup records, medical portal records, and your deployment dates. I will get them. Do not move Maya across state lines. Do not leave the marital home permanently without advice. Do not empty joint accounts. Preserve the status quo where you can, but secure your access. I already left enough money for documented household bills. That was sensible. Patricia's mortgage failed. That is not a household bill. For the first time in 2 days, the corner of my mouth moved. My birthday when you were in Germany, Maya said. The winter concert, the Saturday before spring break. That time Grandma said you were too tired. I called on your birthday. Because I thought he was protecting you, I said. He was not. And you thought Aunt Rochelle was causing trouble. I thought she had stepped back. I thought choosing Daniel kept the family together. It did not. But, Dana continued, I found something else. What? Daniel contacted a family law office 3 months ago. How do you know? By noon, Rochelle and I were sitting in the school administration office with Maya beside us. Miss Rochelle Monroe appears on the original emergency plan and on most pickup records. How often did Daniel pick Maya up? Dana asked through the speakerphone on the desk. Mrs. Bennett reviewed the pages. And Patricia Whitmore? Dana asked. 7 recorded pickups in the last 3 school years. Maya looked at Patricia's name on the page. This is the power of attorney Daniel provided. The document was the one I had signed before a long assignment. Did the school rely on this after expiration? I asked. Not for a legal decision, Mrs. Bennett said, but Daniel remained listed as a household contact, and staff continued routing routine messages to him. Who requested that? Did he tell you Mom did not want messages? Mrs. Bennett chose her words carefully. Rochelle listed correctly as long-term caregiver. Sometimes Patricia arrived at the end, Rochelle replied. She would stand near the teacher when pictures were taken. Maya's mouth twisted. Do not start with the total, Elaine said. Start with one transaction we can prove. I opened the tuition transfer. Private school tuition. Was Maya enrolled in private school? No. $4,200 went to Patricia 2 days later. Elaine nodded. That is useful. Now we need Patricia's purpose for receiving it. Mortgage. How do you know? Others opened into Patricia's mortgage, Daniel's credit card, and a payment to Tyler's repair shop. $6,000 marked school deposit. Yes. Transferred to Tyler Whitmore Auto Restoration. Yes. Does Tyler provide school services? No. What is Tyler's relationship to you? The accountant asked. My husband's brother. Daniel says you are going through family transfers. I am. Extra family funds. Did you know the transfer memo said school deposit for Maya? Silence stretched through the phone. I might have seen that, Tyler said. Might? Daniel said it was easier to label it that way. Easier for whom? You accepted $6,000 labeled for my daughter's school. I did not label it. Daniel had never returned it to the family account. The money had traveled from me to a false school deposit, from there to Tyler's business, then partly back into Daniel's personal account. Family money should stay in the family. Some people wear a uniform and forget who held their family together while they chased applause. Because we are building records, not arguments. She is lying. Making sure the truth survives longer than the post. Maya stared at me. Messages that Daniel's rules had moved into hidden folders. I was told you forgot, Maya said. I did not. I called twice. Daniel said you were sleeping. I was at Grandma's house. I want to fix this, Daniel said. Dana sat beside me. How far did you plan to take the statement about my parenting? His gaze shifted to Dana. Why was Patricia listed as a witness? My mother was present for much of Maya's care. 7 school pickups in 3 years, I said. Daniel's jaw tightened. You are reducing family support to school logs. You reduced it to invoices. Family members would stop posting publicly. In return, I would restore the household account, agree not to file for divorce for 6 months, and refrain from using the draft parenting statement out of context. I read the page twice. That is not what it says, Daniel replied. It is exactly what it says. We can keep this from destroying Maya's life. You used her name on false bills. I kept the family functioning. You redirected her school records. I created one point of contact. You moved clinic notices to your email. You were unavailable. Mr. Whitmore, did you use the expired power of attorney when changing Maya's school and clinic contact information? Daniel leaned back. That was not the question, Dana said. I handled the details because Aisha was gone. It means, if you file for divorce and try to remove Maya from the only stable home she has known, I will tell the court what those deployments did to her. The room became still. What exactly will you tell the court? Dana asked. Daniel folded his arms. That Aisha was rarely present, that I was the consistent parent, that abrupt removal would harm Maya. You are not her legal parent, Dana said. I am the only father she remembers. No, Daniel, that is what you needed me to believe. He stood so quickly the chair rolled backward. You will regret turning this into a war, Daniel said. This is not a war, I replied. It is an accounting. We document the threat. We update every authority document. We preserve the draft statement, and we prepare for divorce. My phone buzzed before I could answer. I know, that was the problem. Daniel had never needed to lock me out completely. He only needed to make sure every road back to my daughter passed through him. Dana printed the clinic form and placed it beside Daniel's proposed agreement. 2 sheets of paper. One had changed where my daughter's medical notices went. Do not respond to Patricia directly, Dana said. She will call Maya. That I was destroying the family. That her house might be lost. That Daniel could be ruined. Was the call recorded? Did Maya save the number in time? Yes. Good. From now on, communication goes through counsel whenever possible. I folded the clinic form and placed it inside my document case. What about the money? I asked. Elaine is finishing the tracing report. How long? She said she would have the first complete draft by tomorrow. And if it shows what we think it shows? Dana leaned back. Then Daniel and Patricia have a much harder time calling this routine family spending. That night, I slept in the chair beside Maya's bed. Your mother is trying to take everything from us. I pray someday you understand what family sacrifice looks like. You do not have to answer. What happens if I do? Do you want me to block her? I want you to decide with your therapist, not because I am angry. She will say you told me to. She says that now. I do not know what Patricia thinks belongs to her. Her house? She acts like I am part of what you owe. I know. She always said she gave up her life for me. What did that look like? She took me to church sometimes. She bought dresses for Christmas. She came to school events. How many? Did you stay with her often? No. I am not answering tonight, Maya said. That is enough. For as long as you need. She put the phone face down. By morning, Elaine Foster's report was waiting in Dana's secure portal. A transfer labeled private school tuition had gone to Patricia's mortgage. A school deposit had moved into Tyler's business account. Several caregiver reimbursements had gone directly to Patricia, even on weeks when Rochelle's calendar and school pickup records showed Maya staying with my aunt. I want to start with what this report does not say, Elaine said. Dana sat beside me at the conference table. Maya was not present. She had an appointment with a therapist Dana recommended, and Rochelle had gone with her. This report does not prove every household expense was improper, Elaine continued. Some funds were used for groceries, transportation, and ordinary costs connected to Maya. How much? I asked. Roughly 1/4 of the total can be tied to legitimate child-related spending. And the rest? Some may have mixed purposes. Some has no supporting documentation. A large portion went to expenses that do not match what Daniel represented in writing. Elaine shared her screen. Here, she said. $4,800 requested for tuition. $4,200 to Patricia's mortgage. No private school enrollment. No tuition invoice. Next row. $3,200 requested for emergency therapy. Actual copay records show less than $200 due that month. The balance paid a vehicle loan. Next. $6,000 requested for a school deposit. Funds transferred to Tyler Whitmore Auto Restoration. Dana asked, what about the money Tyler returned? $1,200 to Daniel's personal account. It never went back to the joint account. The accountant moved down the sheet. $2,400 marked medical deductible, cash withdrawal the same day. Who withdrew it? I asked. Several smaller transfers were split. Some paid utilities at Patricia's address, some went to a retail card. Some were moved to Daniel's account before being sent elsewhere. Could Daniel claim all of it supported the household? I asked. He can claim anything. The written requests are the problem. Elaine opened a folder of emails. School tuition, therapy invoice, caregiver reimbursement, medical emergency. These are not general requests for help. They identify a purpose. Dana tapped her pen against the legal pad. And if the documents supporting those requests were fabricated, that strengthens the tracing. Intent is not my conclusion to make. I can show the pattern. The pattern filled the monitor. We send this to Daniel's attorney. He has one now. He has a lot to protect. The phrase sat between us. My client acknowledges that family funds were not always categorized accurately, the attorney said. Dana did not blink. Private school tuition was not an inaccurate category. It was a false one. Daniel looked toward me. Aisha, we handled money informally for years. You sent invoices. You sent files with school logos. My attorney has advised me not to debate details outside the formal process. Then stop looking at me. This does not address the diverted clinic notices, the expired power of attorney, or the filtered communications. Daniel's attorney folded his hands. They may have been poor decisions, but they were not financial theft. Dana slid Elaine's report across the table. Then explain the school deposit that funded Tyler's business. Daniel spoke before his lawyer could stop him. Why did Maya's name appear on the request? I asked. We had to move money where it was needed. Whose need? Our family's. Was Maya included in that word? Of course. Then why did you block her messages from me? Daniel's lawyer touched his sleeve. My client will not answer that today. I opened the proposed settlement again. You want me to accept $20,000. It is a good faith offer, Daniel's attorney said. Patricia received more than that. Some payments supported the household where Maya spent time. 4 nights last year. Your aunt kept records to make my mother look bad. School pickup records agree with her. My mother was available whenever needed. She was available for photographs. No, Cruel was telling Maya I stopped writing. His face went still. Mrs. Monroe, litigation will be expensive. So was trusting him. I did not take out her mortgage. You paid it for almost 2 years. No, Dana said. We are not. Daniel rose. Maya will remember what you did to this family. I looked at him. Maya, sweetheart, do not hang up. Maya looked at me. What do you want? Maya asked. I want you to know the truth before your mother ruins everything. Why was Mom paying your mortgage? Patricia hesitated. He was trying to keep the family afloat. Why did he say I went to private school? Maya, adults sometimes label things in ways children do not understand. I understand I went to public school. Across the room, Rochelle stopped stacking dishes. No, Maya said. You said she did. Patricia's voice cracked. You are breaking my heart, Patricia said. Maya's hand trembled. Grandma? Maya said. I cannot fix this for you. You can tell your mother to stop. Black ATM. That seat of honor belongs to our family. The image shook as the camera operator turned. We raised her child while she chased rank, Patricia shouted from the screen. Everything she earns belongs to this family. Dana paused the video. This does not prove the financial transfers, Dana said. No, but it supports the ownership language in the messages. I looked at the paused image. Send it to his attorney, I said. Dana nodded. That afternoon, Tyler came to Dana's office without Daniel. No, tell her it is Maya's school deposit. I thought Daniel was moving money around because you two did that, he said. You saw my daughter's name. Did she know the stated purpose? Dana asked. For the mortgage, yes. Daniel told her to call it caregiver support. What about your payment? Mom knew it was listed as school money. I looked at him. Daniel told me to delete the messages. Dana's pen stopped. Because if he is scared enough to ask, I am scared enough to keep them. He agreed to provide a written statement. Mom is going to say I betrayed the family. You took money labeled for my daughter's school, I said. I know. My daughter-in-law is abusing her financial power to punish the family who raised her child during years of absence. She has frozen support, threatened our home, and turned a vulnerable teenager against the only stable family she has known. No, I said. Maya turned toward me. Why? Because tomorrow, we answer with records. For the first time, my daughter did not argue. The next morning, Dana sent Patricia's post to Daniel's attorney with one sentence. Preserve this publication and all related communications. By 9, the post had disappeared. Screenshots did not. Neither did the comments, the cropped photograph, or the timestamp showing Patricia had published it after Daniel's attorney received Elaine's tracing report. Do not answer publicly, she said. The post helps us more than it helps her. How? Maya asked. Because Patricia made factual claims, Dana said. She claimed her family raised you. She claimed your mother froze support meant for you. She used a photograph from a military ceremony and presented herself as your stable caregiver. None of that is true, Maya said. Then records can answer it, Dana replied. What records? School pickup logs, care plan documents, financial transfers, therapy billing, messages. Maya looked at me. And I do not have to post anything? No, Dana said. You should not be pulled into a public argument. Patricia had already tried to make my daughter the jury. Eat while it is hot, my aunt said. I am not hungry. You have said that for 3 mornings. I still mean it. Will Grandma lose her house? She asked. I put down the mug. She may have to repay money that went into it. That is not what I asked. No, I cannot tell you yet. Maya stared at the toast. If she loses it, everybody will say it was because of me. No, I said, because of the choices Daniel and Patricia made. They used my name, so it still leads back to me. Rochelle turned off the burner. No, baby, my aunt said. A thief can write your name on a sack. That does not mean you filled it. Maya's eyes lifted. No family photographs. My client maintains that the transfers were part of ordinary marital spending. Dana opened the report. Then we will examine them as ordinary spending. The first transaction appeared on a monitor. Dana asked, Mr. Whitmore, what school did Maya attend when you requested this payment? Daniel folded his hands. What private tuition did the payment cover? There were academic services. Mortgage payment. Dana asked, Did your mother's lender provide academic services to Maya? No, Daniel said. Why did you describe the request as tuition? It was a household shorthand. Was that vehicle used for Maya? Daniel's attorney asked. Occasionally, Daniel replied. Dana placed the school pickup records beside the loan payment. Did you tell Aisha the money was for a vehicle? Dana asked. No. Did you tell her the therapy balance was less than $200? I do not remember. Next came the school deposit sent to Tyler. Daniel told me to say it was easier to label the money as school-related because Aisha paid quickly when the expense involved Maya. Tyler is trying to protect himself, Daniel said. Is the statement false? Dana asked. He misunderstood. Did you tell him to delete his messages? Daniel glanced at his lawyer. I may have told him family conversations should remain private, Daniel said. Dana displayed Tyler's screenshot. That is not what the message says, Dana replied. Daniel's shoulders stiffened. You are taking fragments out of context. Then provide the context. A specialist had preserved the shared computer and family email account under Dana's direction. The report did not claim Daniel had erased my legal rights. It showed something more deliberate. My emails to Maya were hidden. Access records showed Daniel opening messages within minutes, then leaving them unread in the visible mailbox or moving them into folders I had never known existed. Move to archived family. Dana asked, Why did you create this rule? Daniel stared at the monitor. Rochelle was sending disruptive messages. Disruptive to whom? Did Aisha ask you to hide them? No. Did Rochelle know her messages were being redirected? No. Dana placed the expired power of attorney beside it. This authority had expired, she said. Daniel nodded once. The clinic already had the form. That was not the question. Did the document authorize you to remove Aisha's contact information? No. Did you inform her that all billing statements had been routed to you? No. I did, Daniel said. For what purpose? What abrupt decision had Aisha threatened? Daniel's jaw moved. Had she attempted to remove Maya from the home? No. Had she changed the family care plan? No. So before any dispute existed, you prepared a statement describing Aisha as an unstable parental presence. That is not what it says. Dana read his sentence aloud. What evidence supported that claim? Dana asked. Maya struggled during deployments. Did you obtain an evaluation stating Aisha was unable to parent? No. Did you consult Aisha before drafting the statement? No. Did you tell her it existed? No. Why was Patricia listed as a witness? She observed the household. 7 school pickups in 3 years, Dana said. 4 overnight stays documented last year. No payment of therapy costs. No payment to Rochelle. What continuous caregiving did she witness? Daniel's composure finally cracked. My mother was there whenever we needed her. For the photographs? I asked. You have made me look like a criminal. I closed my document case. I kept things running while you were gone. You sent bills for services that did not exist. I moved money where the family needed it. You hid my messages from Maya. She was calmer when communication was controlled. My fingers tightened on the case handle. You never gave me a choice. You gave me invoices. His face hardened. You want to erase me now? Daniel asked. No, I want the record to stop erasing me. Aisha, if you destroy my mother financially, Maya will never forgive you. Dana stepped between the table and the door. She had nearly 2 years to tell me I was paying her mortgage, I replied. She believed the money supported Maya. Then why did you call it tuition? His mouth opened. Every power of attorney connected to Daniel was formally revoked. Rochelle's role in the family care plan was confirmed and updated. Patricia, I said. Maya closed her textbook. Patricia, I said through the speaker, all communication must go through the attorneys. I am not here about lawyers, Patricia replied. I am here about my granddaughter. Maya does not want to visit. A pause. Maya, sweetheart, I know you can hear me. My daughter pushed back from the table. Do not answer, I said. Patricia kept speaking through the door. I said I do not want to see you, she called. Patricia's hand lifted toward the door. Maya, open this so we can talk like a family. No, after all the money your family took from mine? The sentence nearly made Rochelle laugh. My family took nothing from you, Rochelle said. I paid for that child while you sent Aisha the bill. Patricia's mouth tightened. No, Rochelle replied. The child opening my door every afternoon did. Patricia turned toward the camera. You received money through false requests, I said. I earned every cent. Aunt Rochelle picked me up. Mom paid for everything. Dad moved the money. You do not understand adult finances. I understand public school is free. Patricia's lips parted. No. Dad showed me who he was when he hid her messages. A patrol car turned into the street. This family will regret humiliating me, she called. The camera recorded every word. Elaine traced enough money into Patricia's mortgage to support a repayment claim. If Patricia cannot repay voluntarily, we can seek a judgment, she said. Depending on the resolution, that judgment may be secured against the property. A lien, I said. Yes. It means Grandma would not necessarily be forced out tomorrow, Dana explained, but she could not sell or refinance freely without addressing the debt. So Mom would own the house? No, Dana said. Your mother would have a claim tied to the property. That is different. Maya looked at me. I want repayment, I said. I do not need her homeless. Dana nodded. Then a secured repayment plan may accomplish both. Rochelle looked at me. You put a claim on my mother's home, Daniel said. I put a claim on money traced into it. At 73 hidden messages. No, I said. I am finishing it. He laughed once. You are right about one thing. I was not there when you opened my emails. I was not there when you changed the clinic address. I was not there when you typed a school invoice. I was not there when you sent Tyler money under Maya's name. Daniel went quiet. But I am here now, I said. His voice returned, lower. 2 days later, Daniel's attorney informed Dana that he would no longer contest the revocation of authority involving Maya. Because the draft statement, hidden messages, expired document, and false invoices made his version of stability impossible to defend. There may be an investigation, she said. There may be civil consequences beyond the divorce. There may be a negotiated resolution. Do not build your peace around whether he spends a day in jail. I won't. Repayment. A complete record. No access to Maya without her consent. That is achievable. So he cannot pick me up from school? She asked. No. But the choice would still be yours, Rochelle said. My daughter nodded. If Aunt Rochelle was always there, why did you not know? No document could answer that. Because I let Daniel become the person who explained you to me, I said. Maya's eyes stayed on mine. No speech. No praise. No invoice. Just a place beside them, waiting for me to earn it. A year later, the old seat of honor card was still in the bottom drawer of my desk. I found it while looking for a passport photograph. The cream paper had curled at the corners. Patricia's name remained beneath the black line I had drawn through it, and Rochelle's name still sat below in my handwriting. For several seconds, I held the card between my fingers. You found it, she said. I turned in the chair. You knew it was here? I put it there. When? After we left the hotel. I looked back at the card. You kept it all this time? Maya leaned against the doorframe. I thought we might need it. For what? I did not know yet. Her answer sounded like mine. Silences that belonged to Maya, not to Daniel. Is that it? I asked Dana. That is it, she said. The words ended 12 years of marriage while I held a box of oatmeal. The fabricated invoices and related records remained under review by the proper authorities. Dana had warned me again not to expect a clean ending tied with a courtroom ribbon. Daniel did not go to jail during the divorce. Dana forwarded the notice because it affected his income and repayment schedule. She complained through her attorney that the repayment plan was cruel, though it allowed her to stay where she lived as long as she met the terms. Her church friends stopped posting prayers about my cruelty after Tyler's written statement entered the record. Maya read the letter at Rochelle's kitchen table. Are you going to answer him? I asked. Not now, Maya said. Rochelle slid a plate of cornbread toward her. Not now is an answer, my aunt said. Daniel wrote more often. You can keep it if you want, I said. I do not want it. You can change your mind later. I know. That was the difference now. That morning, with the seat of honor card in my hand, Maya stepped into the office and sat across from me. Are you nervous? She asked. About tonight? Yes. I didn't leave my find. A little. You have spoken in front of generals. Generals usually do not ask personal questions afterward. Maya smiled. It was a small recognition dinner hosted by the Installation Family Support Office for caregivers who had carried military families through deployments, training cycles, illnesses, and long stretches of uncertainty. The new commander had invited me to give brief remarks about family readiness and had asked whether Rochelle would attend as my guest. Later, Rochelle told me Maya had said, "You spent years doing the work while somebody else told the story. Let them say your name correctly once." That was enough. What should I do with this? I asked. Maya reached for it. Bring it. To the dinner? Yes. Why? You will see. She left before I could ask more. A volunteer tested the microphone, tapping it twice and saying, 1, 2, before a burst of feedback made half the room wince. I wore a dark civilian suit. Rochelle arrived in a deep green dress and low black shoes. She carried the same brown purse she had brought to my promotion ceremony. Honored caregiver. Do I have to wear this? Yes, Maya said. It will put a hole in my dress. You have safety pins in that purse. Rochelle gave her a look. My daughter had one hand tucked beneath her chin. My aunt held the honored caregiver card flat against her dress so the pin would not pull the fabric. When people talk about military families, I began, we often use words like sacrifice, duty, and support. The room quieted. Those words can become so polished that we forget to ask what they look like on an ordinary Tuesday. A fork touched a plate near the back. Support looks like sitting in a school office when a parent is in another time zone. It looks like keeping receipts no one asked you to keep. It looks like making sure a child has clean clothes, dinner, and somebody who answers the phone. Rochelle looked down. Real support does not keep a running total, I said. It does not use care as ownership. It does not stand at the door later and demand payment for love. Maya's eyes met mine. For years I confused money with responsibility. I thought that if I paid quickly enough, asked fewer questions, and kept everybody comfortable, I could make up for every day my service took me away from home. My fingers rested against the edge of the podium. I was wrong. No dramatic gasp followed. I also trusted another person to explain my daughter to me, I said. That choice cost us time. We are still paying for it, though not with money. Maya lowered her gaze. But the people who loved us without controlling us left a record too. I turned toward Rochelle. Every school pickup, every pharmacy receipt, every meal, every letter returned unopened, every time she showed up and did not ask who would praise her later. Rochelle shook her head once, warning me not to go too far. Aunt Rochelle, please stand. Her lips pressed together. She raised me, I said. Then she helped me raise my daughter. When others called that support theirs, Rochelle did not fight for credit. She just kept showing up. Maya stood beside her. That was more than brief remarks, she said. I know, ma'am. You owe the schedule 5 minutes. I will return them in writing. Her mouth curved. I will hold you to that. After the dinner, guests gathered near the coffee station. You did not mention the Summers, she told one woman. You were there, the woman replied. That does not mean I want a parade. Maya appeared beside me with the old seat of honor card. You brought it, I said. You told me to. I asked what I should do with it. That counts. Family. Next time, she said. We decide what that means before somebody else does. Rochelle returned with 3 cups of coffee. I had heard smaller versions of it over the past year, usually when Rochelle said something dry or when a television show became ridiculous enough to pull Maya out of herself. "What are we supposed to do with this now?" she asked. "Keep it," Maya said. "Why me?" "That is how we got into this mess. That is how we got out." Rochelle could not argue with that. On the drive home, Maya sat in the front passenger seat while my aunt rested in the back. Daniel wrote again. My hands stayed steady on the wheel. "Do you want to talk about it?" "He wants to meet." "What did he say he is sorry for?" "Losing me." "I think he still thinks I am something that happened to him." "That is possible." "Would you go with me if I meet him?" "Yes." "Would you stay in the room?" "If you ask." "Would you leave if I ask?" "Yes." My daughter held out the seat of honor card. "I thought Rochelle was keeping it." "She will lose it in that purse. That purse contains records from 1998. "Exactly." "Do you still feel guilty?" she asked. "Yes. When I remember something I should have noticed." "Like what?" "The way you stopped telling me about school. How every answer came through Daniel. How quickly I paid whenever he used your name." Maya looked toward the window where Rochelle was turning on lamps inside. "I know," I said again. Maya stepped closer. "Are you two planning to sleep on the porch?" she asked. Maya pulled away and wiped her face with one sleeve. Patricia had believed the seat belonged to the family that collected my money. Family. I stepped inside and closed the door behind me. Rochelle had placed 3 cups on the table. Maya had taken the chair beside mine. And for the first time, no one at that table needed me to pay for the right to stay.